suffocates, whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood, blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall, one wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, everybody, welcome to a Crimes After Dark episode. And I don't know what's going on with my chat. My chat's not showing up on the right-hand side. I don't even have a button to show my chat, so that's totally effed up. For some reason, I'm getting a message that I can't show Facebook chat. I'm not trying to show Facebook chat. I should be streaming on like 5 or 6 different platforms at the same time, and I can't get an option to turn on the live chat. So I don't know if Robin can get us unclustered in the back end, but and I don't know if I'm super blurry, and I don't know if I'm super sober. I am super sober. That part I'm certain of, but I don't know about everything else, what's going on. So yeah, so forgive me for not at least making an attempt to have some chat. I do see the chat. I just can't show it on screen for some reason. Can't post to some of the destinations is what I get told. Oh shit. See, like I just pulled out, I just tried to click on the link about how I can't share posts to certain destinations. And yeah, the whole thing's a mess. I don't know what happened. Anyways, whatever. I could spend a lot of time explaining what I think might have happened, but that's neither here nor there. It is our nightly show, Crimes After Dark, Monday night edition. Every other Monday, we're going to be going live with Birdie Bombshells. And maybe next week, we're going to try to pull off a little different format and have maybe Birdie and I start maybe solo and then come over to my stream for continuing it, or he will start solo by himself for the first hour and then join us on our panel. That's probably what we're going to probably do. Just to kind of try it out. Usually Birdie does drop in from time to time for a short visit on our site, but we're thinking about doing our every other week stream, maybe having him come over to our show, be part of the panel for a day. So looking forward to that potential test of everything coming up. And so I'm studying for a test still for the drone pilot's license. I had a long live today, members only live, covering Brent Kopacka stuff, some big topics that I want to talk to my panel about, some controversial shit that came out of that. But unfortunately, I was a moron. I'm not having a great technical day, right? Because I've got no chat that I can show on screen. I had a whole bunch of time I was talking to people about what they were hearing, and people said, "Oh, I can't hear anything but you." And I'm like, "Oh, you must need to get better headphones." And no, I wasn't even broadcasting sound or video. Everybody was just seeing me talk, and it was super embarrassing. So let's bring Dago up on screen, get our panelists up. I think we're gonna have a couple panelists that are late. Dago, what's going on?
Forget about it.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining me. I was gonna tell you, you might have to unload YouTube and re-upload it.
Like disconnect it from my destinations and reload it to the
Yes, you
destinations.
might have to redo it. I went through that once before, and it reminds me of that a little bit. And you might have to take it out and then re-upload everything together. So
that's a pain in my ass.
it is, but that might
Yeah.
be the problem. It might be glitching, and that's the only fix. I tried everything when I had the problem, and that's the only thing that fixed it. So sorry.
And some people in here, somebody said in here they did an update, so maybe that could have broke things. So maybe it's not just completely me being inept. Maybe we'll pretend like it was something outside of my control. You're looking a little different today. What you're looking a little cleaner, a little.
I had a nose job. I had a nose job
nice,
today.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a nose job. No, I'm sorry. I shaved off the bulk of the beard, and I just left my this thing.
Well, it looks good on you. It looks good on you. You look a little less fuzzy.
Yes.
A little bit, so it's all good. It's great.
It's driving me nuts because no matter what I did, it was just all over, and I can't handle being a mess. I don't like it. I don't anyway. And I was bored, and I said, what the hell? And I shaved all that off, and here we are.
Well, let's bring Robin up and join us on stage. I think we do, by the way, have one joining us pretty soon. And also Joe from State of the Deep should be joining us as well in a little bit. How you doing, Robin?
Hello, I'm doing well, you handsome gentleman, you.
Well, I don't know what
you.
Everybody's in rare form tonight.
Yes.
Not like the other night when everybody decided to show up wearing the same thing for no reason whatsoever. But it's still a good night.
When did that happen?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either. I don't know what you're talking about.
So what's going on with you, Robin? Do you have anything new that happened today or anything exciting? What's work going like and your real job, your real life?
Work is work. It's like I really cannot complain about I'm one of these few people who really can't complain about their job, other than the fact it takes me away from what I really want to do. But I have a good job, I have good benefits, so that's fine. But it was cool. I was able to, like on lunch and stuff, hang out with you and one on the members only live that you did earlier today, so that was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I was like, wow, I'm seeing some people check in the middle of the day when I didn't expect to see anybody. I tried to get Dago in there.
I'm sorry I wasn't here,
but like I'm nothing.
I didn't get the message until I was done doing my live stream, which wouldn't have worked anyway because I was live, I think, at the same time you were. So
yeah. That's probably the way. I'm just trying to keep plugging through videos and audios on that pack of stuff, and boy, I got shit to talk about. In fact, I have stuff to show you. I'm going to show you stuff and we'll talk about it. It's stuff that we saw on the live. So if you're members only live, you got to see it live and you got to hear, well, again, aside from my technical difficulties where you didn't get to see it, you just heard me talking about it. Now you get to see it as well, but they got to see most of it. Real quick, let's make sure that we acknowledge some people in the room and get the
chat. Thank you, Proxy.
I do want to engage our audience more often. I am one of the shittiest YouTubers at engaging the audience, so I'm trying to get better at it. Like right now, Amanda, welcome. Tilted Halo Detective, welcome as well. And we've got SE is backstage, or not backstage. SE's on the chat, and so that's cool. Crime Spy 2024. We've got who else do we got? Far Right Red, a new member. That's cool. We got a new member. That's very, very cool.
I was going to tell you
Always love that. Hope you get your money's worth. How do you not get your money's worth? There's $3. Just watching today's live alone would have worth, but especially, oh my God, there was such humorous.
Oh yeah,
the peeing thing made me bust my gut. It was hilarious. And I almost feel bad telling the pee story because it is public records request, but the peeing incident is worth its fucking weight in gold. We'll handle that carefully when we get to it. Anyways, what else do we have in here? The Christine Hurd 4116. Dago is in the house. Of course he is. He's on stage. Daenerys Targaryen as well. Molly Drake. Yeah, look, buddy. Let's see, what else do we have? Troubled Ocean, regular from the East Coast in the U.S. Beach Babe 0614. Hey, everyone listening, but not good chat, not in the chat. Have a great night. Well, thank you so much. And listening is better than nothing. So that's very cool. Somebody said they can't believe the ICE situation shot a white woman. That could be taken the wrong way, but I get what you mean. I think I get what you mean. Let's see, what else do we have? Knock knock hello from the last 24 on the mic. Kathleen Bell and many others. The good thing is when we have so many people in here, it's hard to get here for the truth now. A lot of names that I see all the time. So thank you all. If I didn't mention you, make sure you post your questions and more than once if you need to, so that we know that it's really a question you want to get addressed, and we will try to do our best, and I will try to do my best to quit flapping my gums at some point. What kind of highlights were you working on in your show, Dago, today? You were doing some Idaho 4 stuff?
We were covering the DoorDash, my theories, I guess you could say, on the DoorDash situation, the possibility of it being not as real, I guess you could say, as what everybody thinks it might be, and a way to set up a timeline and a narrative possibly for showing proof of life. Maybe the people responsible for the crimes could have sent out the DoorDash for reasons. We covered that, got into a little bit more. I had a special guest visit today from somebody new that threw some information out there that was interesting. That's pretty much really all right there.
You know, it's amazing to me in the Idaho 4 case how many people say the possibility that the kids died earlier in the night. When that audio came out, this really shocked a lot of us. Like, what the fuck's the timeline? It has to have happened when it happened, because Xana was on the phone at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I've tried to say over and over again, texting is not proof of life.
Nope.
Now it's coming out that we're not even sure the DoorDash order was placed from Xana's phone. We're not sure that Xana, even if it was from her phone, that she was the one pushing the buttons. There's many reasons to believe it, but yet there's a lot of people who think if her phone placed a message or an order, that means she was alive at that time. And I get why you think that, but let me play devil's advocates. If you wanted to shift the timeline, one way to do it is to send a text to make it look like somebody was alive when they weren't. So that's how you would establish a different timeline, is by doing things like that.
That's the whole basis why I did what I did today, because of that whole point that you just made. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And there's plenty of reasons now to believe that the timeline might be off. There's plenty of reasons to believe that suspect vehicle 1 was not Brian Koberger's vehicle. This case, it's funny because this case seems to be falling apart.
Yes.
Intellectually.
Yes.
But yet they're not going to do a damn thing about it, right? Like legally, nobody's doing anything, but the case is falling apart intellectually. Like under scrutiny, under public scrutiny, this case is falling apart.
Very badly too. Yes, sir.
So it just makes you wonder, like, is anybody ever going to have the balls, the stones, the huevos, the eggs, the whatever to do something about it?
It might mean if it may, the upside down may come out of it, guys. I'm telling you. That hole might open up if it keeps falling apart any further, is all I'm saying. And that could be where we get something.
Yeah, and everybody's waiting for Cy Ray to be ungagged. Why the hell is Cy Ray still gagged? And at this point, I'm almost afraid when he does get ungagged that we all waited for nothing. Like, is he going to come out with a gigantic nothing burger, or is he really sitting on a bombshell? I think he's sitting on a bombshell.
I do too. This is interesting.
Go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Tomboy Charm says you can order a DoorDash and edit it with someone else's name and number, and can only message through the app. I was not aware of that. That's
one actually gave us that information today, that you can go in your settings, and I proved it by going into my phone and looking at my DoorDash app. You can go into your settings and change your name to somebody else's name, put an order in and their address, and have it delivered to them as if you're them. And wow. That's a kind of
that's not good. Really.
No.
Yeah, no, it's bad. And this question from Crud Dog, does the timeline matter other than proving BK's car wasn't there? Well, that in itself is the problem. If Brian Koberger's car wasn't there, then Brian Koberger may not have done it, and the wrong man's in jail, 1, and 2, the people who actually did it are free. So I would argue that is a critical problem. It's not just other than proving Brian Koberger wasn't there. Like, that is the crux of the whole case. The whole case rests on Brian Koberger did it. So if he wasn't there because it happened at a different time, it's a massive deal. It's a massive,
very big.
Yeah. So thanks for the question and the comment. It is the problem. If he wasn't there, if it happened at a different time, then he wasn't there, because again, the prosecution stated he was still in Pullman at a certain point. So if the murders happened while he was still in Pullman, then he didn't do it. So now the question is, who did do it and who's walking free right now?
Yeah, and that's one of the big reasons why people are wanting to hear from Cy Ray, because it's believed that Cy Ray has the power and the knowledge to say that Brian was somewhere else, when the timeline that exists is when these crimes were committed, in turn, meaning he couldn't have done it. So that's what everybody's waiting to hear from Cy.
How would you guys feel about me showing pictures from Brent Kopacka's room where he was shot and killed, and talking about weird inconsistencies that I see? You're okay with that?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that.
Oh yeah.
We're true crime obsessors, bro. Of course we want to do that.
This is what we do. This is who we are.
Do it live.
Do it live. All right. I'm going to add this to stage. We're going to remove this first, apparently, because I can't have that. All right. What we have here now, this is in the file package. And by the way, I'm making this, I'm making all of the public records more and more available for other people to go through and look and sleuth for themselves and find stuff that I'm missing. But I wanted to give a shot at some of this stuff for the first time to give you my opinions before I just tossed it out there to the world. But I think everyone in the world needs to have this. Like, it should be out in the public. It's a public record, so it should be to the public, right? So I'm all for making sure everybody has access to it. And I have shared the links with several people, including Dago. And
we have it over in the cafe as well, guys. If you guys are interested, you let me know. I'll give you access to it.
So this diagram is in itself, especially the next one, disturbing. And I'll tell you. So what this is, I believe, law enforcement drawing a diagram of the apartment for tactical reasons. They're saying, here's where the layout is. So before we go in, everybody knows where the tactical situation is. Mm-hmm. Here you will see, if I can get do you see my big fat mouse cursor that I made large with the little, okay, good. That's the front door to the apartment. This is the hallway out there. And the officers are staged over here across the hall. When you open the front door and look immediate to the left, there's a kitchen. Mm-hmm. Also down the hall this way is a bedroom. That's bedroom B, and bedroom C. That's where Brent Kopacka was supposedly there. So if you look to the left, you're looking past the kitchen and down a little hallway. And there's also, this says bath, ? They weren't sure what this was. They think it's a bathroom. There's a bedroom C, a bedroom B, and then bedroom A is off to the right. So if you would come around the door, bedroom A seems to be over here. So it's a really weird layout.
There's 3 bedrooms in that little apartment.
There's 3 bedrooms in that little apartment.
Wow.
I believe Christian came out of bedroom B when the officers got Christian out. I think maybe that implies that bedroom A was Jordan's and bedroom C was Kopacka's. Okay. But it gets weirder. It gets weirder. Watch this. This is another diagram. Here is the front door. Same kind of layout. To the left is C and the bath that we just saw. Bedroom B off to the right, bedroom A. Straight across is a balcony. That looks over to the parking lot. This is Brent Kopacka's bedroom. Do you see the problem already?
Sure do.
That's a problem. Why is he shooting out his window at the cars down below when his bedroom's all over here beside another unit, and this is this is the balcony? So was Brent Kopacka coming out to the balcony and shooting off into the parking lot? I don't see how he has an access to the parking lot.
He couldn't have. They were at the front door with the door open at a point.
Right.
He would have had to have gone by them. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. And I do you have we need to see an exterior picture to see where windows were within what rooms.
Let's see. It gets worse, man. It gets worse. Hold on. Coffee.
That's wild.
Brent Kopacka. Yeah, we're just scratching the surface. It's gonna get a lot worse. I'm trying to see. So here we go. Do you see this image here? I'm going to blow it up a bit more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the balcony. That's
bedroom B, though.
But you're right.
That's not the right bedroom.
Bedroom B.
That's bedroom B. He's in the back part of the building. This is why I was talking to you about the other day, Lee, when I told you where the sniper was set up by the front road by the sign.
Yeah.
So if Kopacka was in C, unless he moved to the other bedroom, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. And it gets worse. It's going to get worse. I'm going to watch. So I wish his picture wasn't right there. Let me back up, see if I can get another image of the coffee house apartments that doesn't have his image overlaid right there.
Real quick, Crud Dog Music, thank you for the super chat. $5. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Crud Dog.
All right, one more. I'm going to try one thing. I'm trying to get an image of the backside without his image overlay. All right, fuck it. Here it is. This is a good view. Is that the front or the back?
That's
Well, anyways, let me just show you what the problem is. So this should be a problem already, because you're right. This should be bedroom B that also has a window facing the same place as the balcony. Bedroom C should have no window access.
That's the hallway right there, where that back, like where your cursor was just at, is the hallway. So C has no windows, bro. C has no windows that I can tell.
Well, au contraire, because I'm going to show you what it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. All right, one more layout again. Front balcony. So this is where the cars are at. This is where Kopacka was allegedly shooting out into this area, the back parking lot. This is the bedroom off to the left, which I don't understand. So let's start talking about the bedroom. Wait till we get to the windows. This is his bedroom, they say. Like everything in this apartment, there's no furniture. There's no furniture. There may be a chair in here, one chair. No bed, no dresser, no nothing. Maybe a brown chair. Now, this in itself is interesting. There's blue liquid running down the wall. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's luminol or something. I don't know. I have any clue. I noticed if you zoom in, there's a Cricket phone package here. So apparently that could be his cell phone, a Cricket phone. There's some papers. There's some food. There's shit strewn all over the place. Garbage bags, receipts, food. There's like some food here. There's an interesting card here to my son. I don't know if that was to him. His birthday would be in October. This happened in December, so it could have been still a card from his dad or something like that. This is interesting. I don't know what that red splotch is. It seems way too bright for blood.
That is, the rumor was that when they went in the room, all they found was his DD, whatever it was, discharge with
papers,
with blood on them. That's what they were saying then. That's what that is.
It seems too bright for blood.
Especially dried blood. It should be more of a maroon, darker color.
It gets worse. It gets worse. How about that fucking hatchet in the wall? Why is there a hatchet? Why is there a hatchet stuck in the wall?
And what the fuck happened to the door?
Oh yeah, either he or they busted the fuck out of the door to get in there, or maybe the door exploded when they threw a canister. No, the canister didn't explode. But you need to understand, people, if you haven't, many rumors have gone around that the girls were attacked with multiple weapons, and many people have said it was an axe. A lot of people talk about there was an axe throwing contest in town that night or whatever. There's a fucking axe stuck in his wall. That's weird.
Very weird. Oh, there is a window. Okay.
Oh, wait till you get to the window, though. This is a teaser. That's a teaser for the window. We're just getting started.
From the
so there's the window.
To the wall.
But again, even though you see the window, I'm still having a problem with logistics. Wait till we get a little closer look out this window. So
is that a microwave? Yes.
That's a microwave. That's a microwave down here.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's got a G2 pin thing. He's got a can of beans on the ground. A doorknob. There's a doorknob busted off. All kinds of shit, just trash everywhere. I mean, maybe this could have been a box spring at one point, but it certainly hasn't been in a bed for a very long time. There's glass. Oops, cancel that. There's glass up here on the windows. Fuck. There's glass on the windowsill up there, right? You can see all the glass broken out and stuff like that. Okay, now bear with me. This is my problem. That looks like a ground floor unit. There's a staircase there. There's ground and a staircase. How the fuck is that third floor?
Wait a minute. Wait the fuck a minute.
Right?
Can you make that bigger?
I watched it today. I was like, you gotta be kidding. What's it? That's not what they're telling us.
Is that looking out any window of the third floor room in the Coffee House Apartments?
It doesn't.
It doesn't seem possible.
No, it don't.
And if this is the window that he's shooting out and they're shooting through, and that's why it looks like that, where the fuck are the police cars? I literally saw a video of a policeman shooting the canister through his window. Where are the police cars that you would see out here?
There's nobody there. There's nothing there.
What the fuck is this, sir? What is this?
I don't even understand. What the hell?
Does this not look like a staircase?
It sure does. It is a staircase. Yes.
Does this look like ground level? Do we
sure
look
does.
like three,
sure does.
Does it look like a 3 floors up?
Like that tree's
It looks like a tree right there.
Yeah.
Is that 3 floors up?
It sure as hell don't look like it to me.
No.
Oh my God. What the
I
hell?
feel like I think I'm losing my mind. I'm like, am I a conspiracy nut? What the hell?
It ain't your fault.
That does not look like that looks like a window looking out onto like first level window.
Yeah, like you're looking straight out into the yard. Oh,
So
there's
here's a canister. Here's a canister of OC gas, the handheld canister. So they got a shot of that. Some people thought, even one when I had him on for a little bit today, thought there should have been some residue on the ground from the leaking of the gas out, because it's kind of an aerosolized liquid. You should see some residue. I don't see any residue at all.
Yeah, that looks like somebody walked in and set the can down and took a picture of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Doesn't that sound crazy? Now, here's something. Here's a boot, a solo boot, and some clothes out in the hallway, along with some black item right there. This is,
that looks
again,
like a razor.
Down here is the bedroom that allegedly here's bedroom B, right? And this metal bar here, we're going to look in here in the room a little bit. What's super interesting to me is when we get in here close, by the way, the hatchet has to be up in here, right? We saw the busted out door right there, and the hatchet stuck in the wall right about there. So I don't know why we're not quite seeing the hatchet there, and I'm not saying that's, so we'll get to some more. So here's the front door. This is the front door. This is the hallway. This is the phone box on the floor. The black box with the cord is the phone box. It kept ringing every 2 minutes for 45 seconds. This is the chair that they propped the door up with, and they put a ballistic shield against it. This allegedly, or more than likely, is Brent Kopacka's phone on the floor. Why is that a problem?
Because
Darren Duncan said when he arrived in the apartment after the shooting, Brent Kopacka's phone was on the kitchen island and it had been factory reset. So why is it on the floor here? Who moved it to the kitchen island? Was it already factory reset? Was it not in service? Was it moved from here? But they say at some point during the discussion of the cops that night, we heard them say, I think his cell phone is right at the front door. He came to the door with his cell phone and cigarettes, and I think he left them at the front door, which would be consistent with this picture that his phone is at the front door. So at what point, because this is after the shooting, did his phone end up from the floor in evidence to being on the counter factory wiped?
And I don't know if this is true or not, you guys, but I swear to God, and I could just be confusing things, but I swear to God, I remember hearing that he had a flip phone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
that's no flip phone. Yeah.
That's definitely not.
Out here in the hall is a pin from pulling one of those OC gas canister pins. Let me continue on with a few things. So here's a picture of another OC canister of gas. So did they throw more than one? I don't know what that story is. As far as we know, they only threw one. Here's the phone box. The cord goes down to the stairwell, I think, because they literally ran the phone from the second floor up to the third floor to get to his apartment, was the story. There's
what
another
kind of a phone box is that, Lee?
I don't know. I've never seen this.
I don't know what
phone
the
box
hell that is.
It's a Pelican case that's around a phone. So that's just the case, the Pelican case. I can't see what kind of phone is inside the phone box. But it's funny. I like to think I'm a details oriented kind of guy, right? In some regards. It feels like it's just a good old fashioned phone with a handset on a cradle. And I was wondering, like, how do they toss that to the door without the phone going off the cradle? Well, they surrounded it into a Pelican case, so it keeps the cradle locked down, so he could open up the case and answer the phone, kind of thing, is what I imagine.
Okay, I got you. It makes sense.
So it's got the silver old fashioned corded thing on the handset, and there's the handset, and they just got it locked down in a case that he could open up if he wanted to and get on the phone with them. So. There's a pin. This one disturbs me as well. This is on the floor inside his apartment at the front door. Now, it's not a regular rifle. This looks like it's a launcher rifle for.
That's how they shoot the tear gas. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what it's doing up here on this floor, because they shot gas through the window down below and they hand deployed canisters inside. So I didn't hear about and it's not a big deal. I'm not saying I'm picking everything to death. I just got questions. I got questions now. And why did they take a picture of it like it's evidence in the case? Like, if an officer dropped this, why are they taking pictures of it like it's important to know the positioning of that launcher? Right? I find that weird. Here's some more pictures of that boot and clothes. By the way, I'm going to go back. No, was it? Yeah. I'm going to go back. I was meaning to say right here. I think this is the other boot potentially. So there's a boot that's under some clothes. So you got one boot in the room, one boot
Right.
out of the room, right there. So I don't know if it's the same boots, if that's his boots or what. And then, oh, there's the, that looks very, very similar to the drone that I'm trying to learn how to fly.
Sure does.
Mine's not DJI, but it's almost identical in size. They flew it into a wall, I believe. So hopefully I do better in my test than they did on their live exercise. So
Yeah,
let's see.
they must not have done too well on theirs.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
Here's a couple of, I think, spent cartridges from something outside. That I'm imagining it's the two things they shot through his window on the outside.
Holy shit.
How many canisters do you need in that little room?
Right. And when you listen to the audio, he screams a lot. There's a lot of we've heard some new footage today where you get to hear a lot of his yelling. And some of it sounds like pain. By the way, there was a moment in the audio. I wish I could find it for you to play it. It sounds like a female screams in the room with him. Like I heard a distinct female voice screaming, and I thought, well, who the fuck's that? Because I don't think a female cop screamed. So where's the female scream? And I think I said it on one of the first audios. I heard a female scream, and I said, I think I mentioned it before. Like, did you just hear a female scream?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just is it a neighbor who saw something and got terrified at what she was seeing and screamed? I have no idea what the answer to the female screaming is. And here's a picture of an armored car, and then we get some video footage. The video footage is not particularly interesting, but there is an interaction I'll play with you just for shits and giggles. Here's room 11, 111. It's directly below 311 by 2 floors, right? So the whole thing happened in Kopacka's apartment on 311. This is a moment when they stop at 111 and have an interaction. I don't have the sound. I don't think I have the sound shared, so I'll need to make sure I turn that on, and I need to remove this from the stage and add screen sharing.
I'm a little floored right now.
I got it.
Just saying.
There's some shit in this. All right, so let's see if I can add this back to the stage. This is an interesting interaction. We're going to move forward in time to this door. Okay, should be able to hear sound. Oh, why is it so jerky?
No sound yet.
You don't have sound.
No.
Okay. Good. I'll have a chance to share it. This is the problem I had last time. I sucked donkey. Anyways. I'm not doing well. How's that? Let's put it that way. Let's try this again. How about sound now? Let's see.
Yeah.
Hi.
We are good.
Just wanted to leave.
Wants to go out, but if things are kind of crazy. I don't know.
Give me a jog. Wait a little bit. We have no idea how long we're going to be here.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not urgent, but
Okay. If it becomes urgent, we can try and work something out for you. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just give us a call.
So that was a lot from the officer that has the peeing story, but I'll tell you, maybe I almost feel like awkward telling the pee story, but it's funny and it's on public record. But I will say this. I'm going to put the panel up for a second and put this away for a second. I was bothered at first. We get to see that guy's face. We get to see all the way into his apartment. On the 3rd floor, they knock on a woman's door, and you see a woman's face who answers, and you see all the way into her apartment. And yet, when Brent Kopacka comes to the door, we get black box redacted, and we don't get to see his face, and we don't get to see into his apartment. And I don't understand fundamentally the reason. Why can we see in other people's apartments, but we can't see in his apartment? And the odd thing about that is later on, we have no problem showing photos and video from inside his apartment, but you never see Brent Kopacka. You never see him. So why do we never see Brent Kopacka? And the only thing I thought to play devil's advocates with myself is maybe everyone's face was originally redacted. But then they had to go and they had to ask for people's permission to show their faces and unredact it. And so maybe they got permission from 111 and from the girl that answered on the third floor to show their faces. And that's why they show it. And maybe they never got permission from Jordan and Christian who were in that to show their apartment. But again, you see their apartment. So,
why don't we see Kopaka then?
And why don't you see Kopaka? Because he's deceased. So do we have to hide Kopaka's face? By the way,
I don't get it.
There was a critical picture I didn't show you that you need to see.
Wild.
There's a critical picture you need to see. This one from the bedroom. That black box. Oops, I got to put it on screen so you all see it. How about that? This black box redaction is allegedly where Brent Kopaka is dead, where he's been shot and killed. So this is the same bedroom. The black box presumably is over his body, so you can't see it. But you see the same room, the same trash, the same card down there to Sun down here. And his body must be in there, and they won't let us see it. So we can't.
Why does that box look so small compared to a body?
That's what I wanted to know. That's the same question I had. Like, I mean, if you play devil's advocates, can you fall in a position in which your whole body can be slumped into a little like fetal position?
I don't believe it, Lee. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, because he was what, at least 6 foot?
Right.
Yeah. We should have.
And like you said, there's no blood splatter. There's no blood spatter.
There's nothing anywhere.
Rifle. Isn't it? Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't.
We should be seeing a hand or a foot or something. Like, there's no way in hell he fit in that little square.
Yeah, and
it seems very familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Like the pictures of.
There is nothing of any. What the hell? Come on, y'all.
Your guess is as good as mine, man.
Wow.
Your guess is as good as mine.
So
let me tell you about some moments. Maybe I'll tell the P story. Maybe I'll tell the moments. I'm going to tell the moments for sure. The P story. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell the P story. So there's a woman whose body camera footage we see. And in fact, I could show it. Do I want to show it? Anyways. Oh shit. Do I want to show it?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to show it? All right. Hold on a second.
You want to show it?
I do probably.
You do. Everybody else wants you to too.
Wow.
Isn't that wild with the hatchet in the wall? The first floor the first floor window. It looks like a first floor window where you see the ground and the staircase. It doesn't look like it makes any sense whatsoever.
Not even close.
No, he was showing it earlier. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second to find the file.
What the hell is going on, you guys?
I don't know if I have the minutes written down to find it very easy for you. I might. And I need to make sure I share it with audio, right? So I do have it shared with audio. If I play a moment in time, can you hear the audio?
No.
Hold on, give it a minute.
Wait.
Not much happening. There's not much happening there. You hear something?
Yeah.
All right, where can I find? I know I'd recognize some of it if I see it.
There's no fucking way. No way.
Oh yeah, there's where she's breathing a lot on the camera. Okay, so it's right in here. This is the video footage that I'm looking for. These are the drones I'm looking for.
Wow. I don't even know what to say right now, you guys.
I know. It's
about which part?
That little black box completely throttled me.
Yeah. How can I not be catching the part that I need right here? Oh my God. Is this
I can
the right
almost
file?
imagine his face, Robin, sitting here watching this going.
Give me a second to make sure I got the right one. I know it's Brianna or whatever, however you pronounce her name, her file footage from like 3 a.m. So I know
Right.
that's I know that's what I'm looking for. 3 in the morning. Oh, do I not have it sorted? Maybe I don't have it sorted. Oh, I do have it sorted. Okay. Okay, 3 in the morning on the 15th, 3-ish in the morning, and it was this one right here. Okay, that's the second time I felt like I've got it. Why can't I find it? And if I don't find it quickly, I will just have to tell the story.
Yeah. One is.
Oh, here it is. This
backstage.
is good. This is good. Huh? Oh,
One
one's
backstage.
What's up,
There we
1-1?
go.
Hello. Evening, Den.
Yeah, this is the file I was looking for.
Oh, there goes the neighborhood.
Yep.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm surviving. Long time no see.
Yes. Busy day for me.
I was trying to find. I should have written down times because this is like for the birds trying to find this way.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Oh, yeah, we get a good picture of her phone. All right. I guess I'll just have to narrate this thing because this is not even looking right. Oh, maybe this is. It just happened much earlier in the video than I remembered. All right. Hold on. Let's see where I'm at.
Inside? Like inside?
So the moment that I'm looking for is a guy looking through the window. I'm going to fast forward a bunch of times to see if I can catch it.
Okay, Lady Juzzy just said the body is there. They've got an unredacted version. So
How did they get an unredacted version and I don't have an unredacted version?
I have no idea, boss. No idea.
Like I asked for the files unredacted, except for the stuff. Okay, I'm not going to find it. We're just going to fucking do it. We're just going to do it by memory because finding it this way is for the birds and shame on me and we're spending way too much time on it.
How do you like that hatchet, buddy?
The hatchet. So here's the thing.
Oh boy.
There's several moments I want to key in. The funny moment before the serious moment. The funny moment is several of them are outside and they have to pee. And she constantly is like, I have to pee. Oh my God, I have to pee so bad. I have to pee. And she's literally looking around in the hallway for a corner to pee in the hallway. Like she's literally that bad she has to pee. So one of the officers says, hey, look, you can go down the hall and ask 111. They were up and they seem like they're nice people. Maybe they'll let you use the bathroom. She goes down there but doesn't hear anybody, decides to come back and she's just dying at this point to pee. Now, earlier, here's what's hilarious. Earlier, she's in the hallway warming up. 3 cops are outside. A cop opens up the door and says to her, what sounds like, and it sounded like to me too, we're going to be right in the corner just to let you know. And she says, okay. And then she comes out and she opens the door and she goes, Jesus Christ. And she steps back. What was happening is the guy was peeing in the corner. A cop was peeing in the corner and she caught him, taking a leak in the corner. And so then she waits a little bit and she opens the door again and she's like, oh my God. And she steps back again because he's still peeing in the corner. And so when she finally comes out, the officer says, what part of we're going to pee in the corner do you not understand? And she's like, I thought you said we're going to be in the corner. So I thought that was funny. But
Wow. Jesus God. What the hell is going on out there?
It was
Really? They couldn't have gone outside one at a time.
Oh man. You gotta tell them the other comment. You gotta tell them the other comment. Oh,
well,
my God.
there's a little bit more on the pee situation. So to be
Thank you,
fair,
Happy.
she ended up she could not hold it, so she decides that she's going to pee in the same corner. And they were a gentleman, and they looked away to let her do her thing in the like everybody peed in this corner. Which
There's a
I was
lot of
like,
pee.
wait a minute, one. Isn't there some legal thing about urinating in public? I don't know, but
Can I ask a
I
quick
don't know.
question? Like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
wasn't there a bathroom inside there?
I don't know.
So they had like a flood of urine
they couldn't
in
find
the
it.
hall?
But here's the
Come
thing.
on.
Several times during that video that we watched from her camera, you can hear Brent Kopacka or whoever it is, because again, we never get to see Brent Kopacka. So is it Brent Kopacka? We hear somebody yelling a lot, rage, and you hear a lot of throwing shit around, banging what sounds like plates and glass shattering. And he's losing his mind. And he's like, he keeps telling people to get the fuck away from him. At one point, he says, all I want is my goddamn cigarettes. Again, they shoot and kill him just shortly before finally offering after 8 hours if he wanted some. Hey, you want some cigarettes after 8 hours of not like he's been saying all night long, I just want my fucking cigarettes, you know, and then they're like, hey, you want some cigarettes before they shoot him? But anyways, it was nuts. And there was some moments where he said some shit that I'm just like, I don't know. But the two ones that bugged me the most was there was a moment, and I've been waiting to find it on every body camera I can find, and I can't hear it. She's the one, this woman whose camera is recording, is the one who says, he just said he's going to start killing people in the parking lot, or starting with the people outside. I didn't hear it. I went back and listened to it again. I did hear, to be fair, something about outside. I heard the word outside, but it wasn't clear to me. And she said he just told people he's going to start killing people, starting with the people outside. I only heard the word outside. I didn't hear anything about killing people, but she's the only officer who seems to report that happened. And here's the other part that it got. This is where it got really bothersome. Welcome, Phoenix Talks. Welcome to dropping in. You dropped in at the great time. This is going to be foul language. This is not a children's show. At one point, one of the male officers said next to her, wow, he just said that he sees bodies out front. That's what the male cop says. He just said that he sees bodies out front. And then she said, he just said that he's going to go suck them off. At least that's what I heard him say.
He said it.
And I was like, are you are you shitting me right now? Is this conversation happening? Like, he just said he's going to go suck off dead corpses in the parking lot. Is that what you just said that he just said?
This was Super Troopers.
I'm sorry to be.
You didn't know that?
That's what I was just
saying. They were filming. They were filming a
Super
scene.
Trooper.
They're filming a scene for Super Troopers 3.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, okay, there's two possibilities. Brent Kopacka is having hallucinations, so maybe he does see dead people outside of his building. Maybe he was having a psychotic break. He was having hallucinations, so he saw dead bodies. But is he really going to say, now I got to go suck off dead bodies in the parking lot? That makes no fucking sense. And I didn't hear. Listen, there's nothing I can even remotely hear that sounds like that. So it leads you to the question, is this officer just saying shit that didn't happen? And if so, did her comment of he said he's going to start killing people in the parking lot get that guy killed? Because everyone then went to high alert saying he's just threatened to kill people. And maybe she just hears shit. And it's not, I mean, what if she heard everything wrong?
They go into high alert because he says he's going to go suck somebody off? What the fuck? I mean, are you serious? This is insane.
I wonder if maybe she heard knockoff. I'm going to start knocking off, not sucking off.
Well, that was well after she said he was going to start shooting people, I think. But
or maybe he said, I'm going to start
What?
fucking off people, you know, with the.
However, though, you do hear the two shots. You do. Hear
we did. One was on when we heard this.
Yeah,
there was clearly different rounds. You hear
different rounds
what smells like very small caliber fire for like two shots. At the same, remember we heard audio where the officers were like, "Oh, he switched to a lower caliber gun." Well, that's good. Yeah. And then right after that is a really loud bang, and the officer goes, "Fuck!" Like he's back to a big caliber gun. So we heard that clear as day from the outside. Very small caliber, a couple rounds were fired, and then a big gun again, bam! And we're like, so I don't know. Did he have more than one weapon? Did he have more than one gun and a hatchet? Because apparently he had a hatchet as well in the room. So how many weapons were there? Unless they used. I mean, here's the thing.
It's crazy.
One. Is it possible cops use the hatchet to break the door down and then just happen to stick the hatchet in the wall to have a place to put it for a while?
No, there's no way they used a hatchet.
It doesn't make sense.
But however, this is Idaho, so what? You know, I don't know.
How they do it there, I don't.
Yeah,
a lot of the story doesn't make sense. I won't repeat the words, but there was an inappropriate moment. It seems like Kopacka is using racist words, and the female cop makes a comment. Oh, so I guess he's a criminal and a racist. And she's like, it kind of goes with the territory. So there was a lot of inappropriate comments made during the whole thing. I don't know what to make of it all. I mean, we're being hypercritical about the video, and why wouldn't we be hypercritical when after 3 years we still have never seen Brent Kopacka's face, and we see a picture that looks like it was taken from the first floor. Like
that's very weird.
Let's go back and look at that again. Like that looks like a ground floor with a staircase.
It does. It really does.
I don't understand how that's a third floor window.
What's up, JJ?
How that would line up at all with bedroom C.
Yes.
So you got to put it on
no
the
parking lot. Huh?
Lee,
You don't have
gotta
it.
put on
You
your
don't have
screen.
it. Yeah, you don't have it on
Oh.
stage.
How come I suck so much?
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna-
know. Ask the cop. Ask the female.
Yeah,
cop.
Okay, here you go.
As long as you're not doing the other thing.
That looks
See?
like a ground level floor window
It really does.
with a staircase. I mean, is
That
what else could
definitely
it
does
be?
not
if
look
it's not
like a third
staircase?
floor, a
That's-
third floor drop.
No,
Not even close.
no.
So make that
No.
make sense. If this is not the third floor bedroom, then what would they be doing? What would they be showing? I mean, why? I don't know how to make sense of it.
1, 2, 3. There's no fucking way. I'm looking at.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, no way. I'm looking at the coffee house apartments, guys, and there's no way. The third floor is like, that's a hell of a drop, guys.
Yeah.
It's
That's
pretty
a
high
picture of the
up
coffee
there.
house apartments, third floor.
Look at this real quick. Look at I'll wait till you're done, but
Okay, yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't know
Show,
what
you
that-
got
yeah.
something to load backstage?
yeah, real quick here. Just this angle in itself. Look at the third floor, guys. As
Doesn't-
compared to that picture that video we just saw through that window, there's no way in hell that's the same place.
No.
You can't
Yeah,
look out
can't
that
be.
third floor window and see a tree and a fire and a
Whoa.
staircase.
You're way up here, and that's like eye level with the ground. You know what I'm saying?
And then
Thank you, Molly. That's crazy.
that apartment they were in next door, right, was 305.
So I'm confused about this question. They said it can't be the ground floor if there's a staircase. Why couldn't that? I mean, am I missing something? Like this would be the ground right underneath the window, and that's a staircase leading up. Why can't that be the what? Oops. Again, can I actually show anything on screen when I'm actually talking about it?
Sorry.
No, I can't. I can't. Okay, hold on. Screen share. So again, this is the windowsill. Right outside the window, it appears to be ground level, and there's a staircase there. So why
Right.
why couldn't it be at the ground floor if there's a staircase? It's a staircase up from the ground
It
floor.
definitely could be.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Like
man.
right out from the window. Yeah, I mean,
Wow, it changed
that's
color.
the ground.
What is going on? Something's off. I'm sorry, but something's off.
I don't know. And like, I don't want to make everything into a conspiracy, but look, there was, again, there was a moment when they say Brent Kopaka just shot out the window and we saw he hit a tree branch and a water tower they talked about. That same female officer, as soon as they said that he hit a water tower, she said, well, here we go, because she's anticipating they're about to kill him because he's starting to hit structures with the bullets and stuff like that. And so that's shortly before she says he's going to threaten to kill people now.
Where's the water tower, Lee? Where is it? I'm going in
Yeah.
circles around this building right now. There's no water tower.
See?
Right.
Oh, that
That's-
has been bugging me. That whole thing, it's pinging off the water tower and all this
I'm
other
going in
bullshit.
circles around this building right now. There's no water tower.
Is there a tower? Maybe it wasn't a water tower. Maybe it was
I
a
don't
tower.
see.
Is there a
I
tower?
don't see any. Here, let me throw it backstage for you one more time, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing because this is stupid. This is crazy shit.
I'm wondering, am I making the mistake because they didn't say water tower? They just said tower.
Either way, I mean, I don't see anything that
Either
would
way.
be.
Wow.
Look, okay, here's the apartments right here. Okay,
Yep.
all right, now I'm gonna go down the road just a little bit here. Do you see anything that even looks like a tower?
No, there's
No.
buildings up on campus because the campus is elevated. But where would the
That-
tower be that they hit?
There's no tower. Nothing.
Can you go to the back side of the apartment with that?
I'm
Google
trying
Street View?
to. I'm trying to. I don't know if it's gonna let me get all the way back to there, but hold on.
Maybe
This
there's
is-
some kind of like clock tower or something at the campus. Or
That's what I was looking for, but I don't see anything.
that's the only thing I can
Clock-
think of. If it's, you
Yeah,
know,
the clock tower is long ways away.
Yeah.
I don't. It won't let me go
It won't let
past.
you go back there. Okay,
Oh.
can you tilt up so we can see the slope of that back
Yeah.
berm?
Hold on. Let me get back over here.
So what they basically said, by the way, is, so if you look, here's the thing. This is what kills me. That if you look at that picture right where he's got it, there's a brick retaining wall,
Right
and
there, yeah.
pretty tall slope of grass leading upwards. If you're shooting from a third floor window down at the parking lot, you're not hitting campus because you've got a huge backdrop of a brick wall and a big wall of dirt there. It's not hitting campus. But at
You
some
know
point,
what?
just before they shoot him, they say, oh, he's shooting up and going through trees and hitting towers in the distance. Therefore, bullets are now going towards campus, which was, again, used to justify the shoot because he was endangering people's lives up on campus.
I think I may have figured out the whole first floor, third floor issue. Look at this.
Okay.
Hold on, let me show you something. I saw this on the other end when I was, just give me one quick second here. Come back over here. All right, so notice that this is built into this hill, right?
Right.
Yes.
I see that.
Do you see this stairwell right here? It's kind of right there. There's a stairwell that's built into the hill right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a stairwell?
It is a stairwell. There's a better shot of it in any other.
Okay. So
anyway,
that the trees in the stairwell?
So yeah, it's built into this incline. So if you're standing on the third floor looking out the window, it's going to be level with that hill, and it's going to look like you're on the ground.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Can I
Very good.
can I just say something, Dago?
Please do.
Can you take your cursor down to like where the base, like the very first steps are on that staircase?
Right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on. No, it's not going to let me go back there.
No. I mean, just put it like where you think
so that she can talk about it. Yeah.
Would be.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Let me try to spin this a little bit again.
I have a reason.
Joe's backstage, but Joe, how you doing tonight?
1 second, Robin. 1 second.
I'm good. Hi, everybody. What's up, Dan?
We're in the middle of a clusterfuck. Joe needs to see some of these pictures.
Let me get back over this way so we can see it again, Robin. Hold on.
I'm sorry, Dago.
No, don't apologize. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean? Okay, so
yeah,
it won't let me put the curtain. Here's the bottom. That's the bottom of the stairs right there.
Right. Okay. Now just hold it right there, because if he's up on that third floor.
Yeah.
Okay. You should be looking down more onto that stairwell, where
as opposed to what looks like level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, this is great. I mean, you do make an argument that there appears to be a staircase there. There appears to be trees there. So let's go back and look on screen again. Maybe leave that as an asset loaded, and I'll try to.
Maybe I saw in the chat someone put up, Dago, would you be able to? Would you be able to put kind of like an actual apartment? Even if it's not Kopaka's, like
you could type in the address 311 and see if
so like if you put in like 305 or put in
I think I can get into an apartment. I'll drop it down and I'll find one and I'll put it backstage when I'm done.
So going back to this.
Thank you, Molly.
Is that looking? Yeah. Okay.
See,
okay.
That's the stairwell there now. Yeah.
Okay, I could maybe see what you're talking about. That maybe you are up high and you are looking down at the ground level that slopes up behind the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys buy it? I think it's possible, right?
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was when I first looked at it. Like when I went around and I saw that stairwell, I said, "Wait a minute, maybe because that hill's there, and you're looking from the same level of the third floor that you're looking right out at it." But Robin's kind of got a good point too with what she said. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to. It's weird. The hill thing I think is screwing everything up.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking at that perspective, and that looks like what you guys just showed a minute ago, where you showed the top floor.
Right.
It seems like you would be pretty clearly like looking straight out at the top along that ridge. I
mean, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Wait, what's the apartment number again?
311 is Brent Kopaka's. 305 is facing the other side of the building.
Right.
Holy shit! I got lucky because I got that apartment.
Ha!
Nice.
That's wild.
Unless like the angle of the camera was like on the freaking ceiling, I don't think it would show it from that perspective.
This is Coffee House number 311. It says.
Yeah. So like stay there for a second. So to the left of the fridge is the front door out to the hallway.
Right there, yeah.
The door that's open to your left on that left wall should be bedroom A. And then bedrooms B would be straight ahead and C off to the right around this kitchen counter area.
So this is the front door right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
This is
bedroom A, I think.
Jordan's bedroom, we guessed.
Yeah.
Or
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan's bedroom, I think. Yeah.
And then the kitchen area. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go forward with it and see what we got. Oh shit! Come on, don't do that to me. That's not what I was trying to do.
Is that a video you can play?
Yeah, there we go.
Walkthrough of the apartment. Oh snap!
That's good.
Nice.
Wow.
That's such a crazy layout.
It is. So this is the
Wow,
the
what
hallway.
is that? A hallway?
That's the hallway.
So again, the front door is way back there in the distance. Back there, that's the front
So
door.
they
of the
come
hall.
through the kitchen, and this would be
And around the corner to his bedroom C. They said they didn't know if it was a bathroom or a hallway or what is right around the corner. They couldn't tell what was right around the corner. They had the same problem we did. Like, what the fuck is the layout of this place? So there's the top-down view. There you can see it, bedroom A off to the left. The main room, the main area there. Okay. So, this is great. Pull back a little bit.
Hold on. There we go.
Okay. So go pull. Can you move it up? Move the whole thing up so we can get the balcony area seen in the picture. Okay. So straight ahead from the door is the balcony right there where you just lit. This to the right of that, as you move to the right with your mouse, should be bedroom B, right? And then Kopaka should be up a little bit. That's C. That's where Kopaka should be. So
Kopaka's, right.
Right.
Where so his window vantage point would have to be looking out right down. No,
right
I don't
there.
think it would have to be. It would be down. It'd be off. I think it would be this way. Right. Keep going. Down
Right
there.
here?
Right there.
It's where
It would
the
be
patch of light is.
somewhere. Yeah, where the patch of light is, kind of a little bit around the corner. I think it would be looking out right about
will
there.
It let you go in there?
Let's see. What is this thing saying? Control plus.
The problem is too, though. I don't see how he's shooting at cars in the parking lot and shit from that vantage point we saw.
Because when we were there, DA, remember how there was that, like you can see. It's like,
There's that.
Yeah. So there is the window.
Okay, right there. Wait,
See
is
that
that
window?
not out? That is not out.
This one back here, Dago.
Right. Wait. Here?
Sorry, Joe. I started to
No,
hear
that's
you.
all
But I
right.
got,
Bottom of the screen, Dago. That's a window. Right there. Right there.
Okay, yep, that's
Kopaka's
it.
window.
That's it. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
So there's this doorway to his bedroom right here, guys.
yeah, and then the axe was in the wall right there beside the door.
The
right
door,
there.
and this is
And
where
then
all
the
the mess
window.
was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there
And
is a window facing
Right
out
there,
towards
and
the
it
parking
goes
lot.
right off to the back where that stairwell is. Okay.
Okay.
This is a cool
I mean,
model.
We asked questions and it all didn't make sense, but the more you look at it, the more it starts to make sense, I guess.
I have a question for
No.
you guys.
Oh, it says you can get in there. Double click in it.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, even better, yeah.
I listened to your video today, DA, about the talking about all the redacted video, audio, and all that, the video and stuff. And you seem to be leaning towards being open to the idea that this was a training exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. It might be too early for this. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should wait. I should probably wait.
Well,
Fair.
here's another
I
weird thing,
Go
though.
ahead. Come on.
This room is all the way in the back of the apartment, and I don't understand. Maybe that explains the yelling, but still.
It's interesting that perspective, though, because you do see where the hatchet would be. You see the window that he'd be shooting out. It didn't seem like it had a great view of cars down below, but maybe if you looked, again, there's a slope, so it's deceptive. So maybe if you looked over the edge of that thing and down below, you'd see cars in the parking lot.
Yeah,
all right, Joe, what do you got? What do you got
on,
for
Joe.
the it may just be an
After yesterday's thing on MK Ultra, jump in.
Well, okay. Let's just do a thought experiment, like we like to do.
Yes, I know. Sorry. I just want to, people are getting mad again because we're ignoring the chat. Somebody said, click on the circles on the floor to move around. We knew that. What else is is there something else we missed? Oh, I think they were trying to get you to click on the circles on the ground. And then they said, I'm just going to give up because they're not listening. I was like, oh,
I was
shit.
just looking at the screen. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Joe. Hold that thought just for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish.
I get sensitive when
doing.
our chat gets mad at us for ignoring them all the time. I'm trying not to ignore my chat. But.
All right, so there's the window. Look, there you go. There you go.
See,
Okay.
it looks out onto a parking lot. See,
Yeah,
It does look out
angled
onto a
down?
parking lot.
That's not the backyard where that stairwell was.
Nope. Nope.
That's weird.
Okay, leave it right there. I'm sorry, Joe. Hold your thought. Don't hold it. Pinch it off like a lizard. Okay, hold on. Let me put something else on the screen. I'm going to remove this from stage. We're going to add this to stage. Is that the same thing?
Nope. Because there's ground.
That is
earth.
not the
There's a
same.
yard.
Yeah, I don't see the stairwell right there, guys. Look. And I don't see the parking lot like we what the hell?
It would be plowed. If it was a parking lot with that amount of snow, it would be plowed and you'd be able to see the parking lot lines.
Well, that's grass. Okay. There's no lines. There's no blacktop. There's no nothing. That's weird.
Nope.
Let me ask you the $1 million question. This is okay. Would this look more appropriate from the second floor?
Maybe.
I was gonna say, why don't you try to look through the window? Look through the window at some of the other bedrooms.
No matter what vantage point you have, you're still going to see a plowed parking lot with some lines.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing here, and this is not what we're seeing over here.
All right. We got to give Joe some space to talk. Let's get Joe.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Well, it's a bit of a tinfoil hat, but I mean, it's your fault, DA, because you opened the door today with your video.
There's the stairs. I see them back there, but where the hell's the parking lot? Damn it. Okay.
Okay, okay, Joe, articulate the case here.
Sorry, Joe.
Okay. There has been speculation that the Idaho 4, extraction operation, etc., and so on. There's at least the idea of considering the possibility that the Kopaka thing could have been a training exercise. If there's funding that we know was going on in the area, a multi-agency task force, is it possible that the Idaho 4 whole thing was a training exercise also, and this was the follow-up on the training exercise? We found somebody. Now they can't tell that to the public, that the media is reporting on something that was a training exercise. Just a thought experiment. And because a lot of the behaviors I've said for a long time of certain people around the case have been very suspect to me. Just off something. I use my gut instincts. Like, this person's not acting in a congruent way with what the magnitude of what happened. Right. And so then you have Othram Labs, right? And what do you know that, one of the parents of one of the victims is partnered with Othram Labs now. Now, what has been going on a bigger scale that our government has heavily invested in? Predictive AI and predictive policing. And they've been very clear about it for years that they want to increase surveillance, right? And so if big events happen, and it forwards a certain agenda, and if it's deemed national security, then, as we know, the Smith Modernization Act and the National Security, what's that? Act? The National Security something Act. It's just, I'm just putting out the idea that it seems to me like the more we keep digging into different aspects of this case and peripheral things around this case, the more things that don't add up.
Well, and listen, that you make a good point, and I'm not going to say I think this is what happened, but I want to play out the logic. So if someone like Brent Kopaka was friendly with law enforcement and agreed to play the role of a crazy vet with PTSD losing his shit, and if they had a training exercise to do a real life simulation of how would your officers respond to this shooting situation, could the entire thing be basically a training exercise? And there was a moment I thought I heard, I'm going to say for a millionth time, I thought I heard 2 officers were joking on camera and they said, so what are you doing next Thursday? Another training exercise? And they laugh. And I thought, and that's why I said, what the fuck? Is this a training exercise? Because what do you mean? What are you doing next Thursday? Another training exercise? And then another person said at another point, why do they always do these things in the middle of winter? Do what things? Go crazy or do training exercises in the middle of the winter? Right? And they said, well, they usually do them in the dunes in the summer. Who? They crazy people do things in the dunes, or the training exercises usually get done in the dunes? So it made me wonder, like, are literally officers joking about, like, again, to be a real, here's the thing, to play devil's advocates with the whole, why would they do a training exercise at 3 a.m? It's simulating a real life situation. So you would want to maybe drill a changeover of shift. How are officers going to handle the changeover? So you don't tell them when it's coming. Officers have no idea that they're drilling at this moment, maybe. And they say, how do people respond to the situation? So is there any scenario in which they kind of knew this was a training exercise and not real, and they're kind of joking like, shit, I picked the wrong day to come to work today because fucking now I'm going to be at the 3 or 4 a.m. on a fucking thing. What are you doing next Thursday? Another training exercise? Like, I'm going to skip Thursdays because that's when they do training. Like, is that what happened, or is that just completely nutbaggish?
Well, and as I always say, the government doesn't do things, and DA, we both said it, they never do things for just one reason. When there's bigger agendas at play, it's not, they don't just use all those resources to accomplish one thing. It's usually a multifaceted agenda. And if there's billions of dollars invested in predictive policing, predictive AI and domestic surveillance, and Optum Labs is part of that, and we know that that area is involved with funding with the NIJ. And then we also know that the schools in that area, there was multi-jurisdictional task force and multi-agency task force. Well, funding would be a good reason that explains why there's the DHS and why the FBI is involved and why people may have seen marshals at the house, because they're trying to simulate a multi-agency event, and it's got funding, and with that they're going to also forward these other outside agendas. And again, I'm not saying that this is what I think absolutely happened. What I'm saying is when I see things that make logical sense, I can't help but to create a model in my mind of how this would play out.
So I got to show you something interesting. You're gonna love this. ChatGPT, add to stage. Does Pullman Police Department in Washington State do training drills on Thursdays? Sometimes, but not every Thursday. What is verifiable from public sources is that Pullman Police Department has repeatedly run training drills on Thursdays, including July 31st, 2025 Thursday, June 20th on a Thursday, May 15th on a Thursday, July 20th on a Monday through Thursday for joint responders. Yes, they do training drills on Thursdays, sometimes confirmed multiple times. So, and then they have links to different times that they've done it. Pullman safety thing, warning about a Sunday. Another one, police training drills on Thursday at Krugel Hall. Another one, Pullman training day on Thursday in St. John's. So is a Thursday training thing a routine thing in the department that they're used to Thursdays being a training thing? And that's why they say, so what are you doing next Thursday? Another training drill? And they're laughing about it. Like, is there any possibility that's a training drill?
It's definitely possible. I mean, I've been involved in some training exercises here in NYPD. And,
so have I.
And what JJ's talking about, they'll get there'll be multi-agencies involved, and not, the public isn't in on it. They don't know that it's a training exercise. So,
right.
I was part of one. They had simulated an active shooter taking over a college, like went into a local college, and they did the whole thing. They had like first responders went. They had SWAT go. They had a whole. It even wound up making it on the news and everything. It was like a whole big thing.
And when they do those things, don't they?
Yeah.
And when they do those things, don't they have actors that throw out real life scenarios to make it look like it's real and convince, so that it was as real as possible for when they're doing the drill?
Yeah, and they did one that I was part of. They had drones. They had drones in the air. It was the whole 9 yards. They did everything.
And guys, is it possible that Payne is the one who brought Kopaka to the area for this training? Not that he just happened to be there and he knew the cops, but he was brought in because he's a highly trained
Well, like I said, he could have been playing a role of a crazy PTSD vet and playing it well because he knows a thing or two to be able to pull it off, right? And maybe it was just all a big thing. And again, maybe the officers don't know the details. Maybe they kind of know it's training Thursday. More than likely, this is a training. So maybe they kind of know it's training, but they don't know the details. So they're like, they don't know when it's going to end. They don't know how long it's going to last. They're getting pissy because they're like, fucking, I wanted to go home. I didn't know I was going to fucking be on a 12-hour shift on a fucking Thursday night. I got shit to do. Like, is it possible that could explain some of the weird behavior of the officers? Because they kind of thought it wasn't a real thing anyways. It's just a drill.
Okay, and so the second part I'll add to this is if we know if we agree, I think we all agree that that's possible, right? These things do happen. I think we know it's possible. However, in this case, there's a lot of funding going into that area. And so if other agendas were at play to forward this, use the media, because we know the media lies to the public, to push these narratives forward. So we know that happens. We know the media does that. We know the government's legally allowed to lie to the public, to propagandize the public. So is it that big of a stretch? I'm just saying that the Moscow event was also part of that. And this was just piggybacked off of that. I mean, there's an axe in the wall. It's almost like they're trying to simulate like this was a guy who went haywire and killed a bunch of people.
Right.
And now he's flipping out on his roommates, and we have to go in and deal with the situation. I'm just saying, I know there's a lot of passion in this case and a lot of things. But what I look at is what thing ties the most elements together that can theoretically explain away all the inconsistencies, all the horse shit the public's been fed, the lockstep media narrative. I try to find which theory that we've all played around with explains away the most aspects. And I think with this case, it's complicated, and there are numerous theories that could explain away things. But nothing has really explained away the Kopaka situation and why the media basically completely, after the event, it was basically memory hold.
Right.
So I just wonder, like, if they did have a training event, is there any way that they would be compelled to tell the public if they made a FOIA request and said, please confirm whether or not your department held a training drill on December 14th or 15th, 2022? Would they be compelled to answer yes or no that they did that, or can they just hide that information?
They don't have to tell you anything.
Yeah.
And if this is tied to a national security related operation, they definitely are not going to tell the public, because that supersedes everything. If it's national security, it's like going to the CIA and saying, did you assassinate the president of this country? Did you install this dictator?
And I want to reiterate something Amanda is saying. We don't know that Kopaka is the killer, and I agree. Look, here's the thing. I actually felt sympathy towards Brent Kopacka if that was a real event, that he was having a crisis. And at one moment he may have said, I didn't murder anybody. That's what I heard something to the effect of didn't murder or something like that. And I'm like, was he concerned? Was he paranoid? Was he having a moment where they thought he killed kids in Moscow? And he's like, I didn't murder anybody. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm like, was he just having a bad day? So I don't know that there's, I'm not trying to imply that Kopacka was involved in the murders. I'm trying to ask, is there any scenario in which someone thought he was involved in the murders? Did he feel that they thought he was involved in the murders? Did that all lead to a colossal misunderstanding? Or is there any scenario in which he was involved and they knew it? All of those things have to be considered. So,
all right, DA, since you brought up ChatGPT, I've never talked about this on the stream. You know about this, but I never brought it up on stream. As an exercise several months ago, I spent hours on Grok AI just doing an exercise, a logical debating exercise. And I started out with, is it possible that Brian Koberger was working with the feds on a federal operation? And at first it gives you the mainstream narrative, and it just
conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Conspiracy, Kopacka, da, da, da. This was before the plea deal. And then what I did is I picked away every aspect of it, and I kept countering with specific details. This went on for about at least over 2 hours for sure. And after about the 100th logical line item that I put in, I got it from saying there's a 5% chance that he was actually working with the feds as an operative to a 90% chance that he was working as an operative. It was actually 95, but they give you like a little margin,
plus or minus,
margin of error, 5% margin of error. So now I did this and I even emailed it to DA.
Yeah.
I did it by attacking each mainstream narrative point with logic, things that I knew, things that I know about how federal operations work. And it was a real painstaking thing because it kept trying to punk me, like trying to counter me, like there's no way, it's et cetera. And I kept going and kept going and kept going. And I'm good at picking things apart. And I went from 0% chance at first. It took me a while to get it to 5%, and then eventually to 90% chance probability that. Now I understand it's AI. I get it. I don't.
You're leading it. Yeah.
I totally get it. But the point is, if you can make enough logical connections between things, it's not that hard to create scenarios that are realistic. And I see, people make arguments like this is not what I'm saying. I definitely think happened. I definitely think that this was an operation, both the Idaho 4 and the Brent Kopacka thing. And now I'm very confident that the Kopacka thing was an operation of some sort. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck and looks like a duck, it's a duck. I mean, at what point do you have to finally say, this explains a lot of different things, that there was definitely, I know there was an operation going on. I know that with the Idaho 4 as well, some kind of operation. It explains the horseshit narratives. It explains the bullshit PCA. It explains the incongruence between the narratives and the mainstream narratives and, the mainstream media rather, and then the body cam footage. And then how many other things don't add up? So I hate to be that guy, but because I believe there are other possibilities as well that are very probable, but an operation explains away a lot of the things. It explains, because I say this, and then I'll end with this. I always say this. I've debated people on this countless times. It's not what happens at the time of a high impact event. It's what happens as a result of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this comment, by the way, leads an interesting, just like you said, I can be clever and really good at picking things apart. Pullman Police Department was primarily involved in responding to a real world critical incident, an officer involved shooting that resulted from a long standoff in December 22, which overshadowed their typical monthly training. One could read that to say, instead of your typical training, this happened instead. So it could, they didn't have a train. That's what you could read it to say. They didn't have their regular monthly training at this time because this happened instead. So was it just their regular monthly training that got put out to the public as a real event when it was just their pretty much scheduled regular monthly training?
And the redactions are insane that you got from the with the body cameras. That's not a normal response that you should get.
I don't know, man. It just this case is the case that just keeps on giving. That's for true crimers. You can't get away from it. You think you're moving on to some other case that's high profile and interesting, and you can't get away from Idaho 4 because it just never stops. It never stops with something new every single day.
And all I can say about this is it possible that some of us or all of us are invested in what we think is the theory? Because once you get invested, because you put a lot of time and effort into it and analysis, that you, just like we say about when cops focus on one person, like in the book Frame, they focus on one idea and they go down that road. I mean, a lot has been invested into researching this case by a lot of people, a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of sweat. And I just say that when enough things seem shady, it's probably because there are shady things going on. And why, if everything's legit, why so many blatant lies? I mean,
I know.
That's the thing. Why so many on every single level, every aspect of this case, we've been lied to.
Yep.
Have any of the panel watched the body camera video of Brent talking to cops? If not, check it out. Yeah, the one from the in June, right, where he was talking to cops and felt a little paranoid, thought somebody was out to kill him. That and they were trying to lure him out of his apartment. Yeah, I've seen that many times. Yeah. Did you have a question about it in particular? Yeah, because I mean, what do you guys think about that? What did that event tell you? What it told me originally was Kopaka said he lived at the Pimlico Apartments, not at the Coffee House Apartments. Now, did something change? It was 5 months before, or that event happened 5 months before this event. So did he move in the last 5 months? And again, his roommate said they only lived with him for 2 months. So had he recently moved there? But I'm telling you, nobody moved there because there's no fucking furniture in that entire apartment. Nobody's living.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That would go along very well with a training exercise. You don't see much furniture. It would match very, very well.
And also, he was at a hotel when that body cam footage took place.
I think he was in between like places to live, so that's probably why he had only lived there for a few months, because he hadn't had that place yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if I've said it,
none of them did. Yeah,
if the feds are involved, that means a big budget, and that means someone could have been brought into the area for different reasons. And
let me ask a question, if I can, with what all you guys just said. So if let's say that's the case, the training thing or whatever, where is everybody?
What do you mean?
Well, if you're working for the feds or you're funded by the feds, I mean, if people, if enough money is behind any operation, they can do what I mean. They have unlimited resources. People could be just gone from the area. They're living somewhere else, and you want
to know another weird thing, by the way, that happened, just as an FYI. One was with me today when this happened. So we were doing a long form live, and I went through all those pictures I showed you today, and we just decided to grab random body camera footage, and we didn't notice that the date was 3 days after the shooting. It's related to the Brent Kopacka case file, but it's 3 days after the shooting. A group of officers, 3 patrol cars at least, pulled into a RV park south of the coffee house apartments. You see the coffee house apartments in the distance, and they're pulling up to some kind of incident at 12:30 at night, 3 days after the shooting. And the person they're looking into appears to be Zach Kopacka, Brent Kopacka's brother, and a woman named what was the name? Was it A with a name like an Amanda or Amber?
Autumn.
It was Autumn. Yeah. So, and it looked like it was from what we could gather, it looked like it was a domestic violence situation where the cops showed up and they questioned somebody like Autumn, and she didn't give them enough probable cause. Because it sounds like they talk about DV, an abbreviation DV for domestic violence, on Zach, and that Autumn didn't give them enough PC for probable cause. So they left basically saying nothing. There was nothing they were going to do about it. But it was interesting that it was attached to Brent Kopacka's shooting file, that they went out to an incident 3 days later with Zach, just right by the coffee house apartments. But
now, what's interesting about that, if that was a legitimate DV call, there should be some kind of paperwork or something that they had to.
Yeah, there has to be
almost like that's like a mandatory thing, even if there's no arrest.
Yeah,
there has to be some kind of report. So
we could public record if we wanted to go down the rabbit hole. We could public records request the exact date and time of that stop and say, can you tell me anything about an incident involving Zach Kopacka and Autumn at this time for domestic violence, and what do you have on it?
He's right. That has to be, it's mandated, period. That's a federal thing. It's not even that's everywhere you go now because of OJ.
That would be a family environment. It's even an argument.
And just to follow up, Dago, with what you were saying, I realize I've thought about all those things. All right, were they really moved somewhere else and all that? Well, we know for a fact that has always happened. I mean, how many mob guys were put in WITSEC? Pulled out. No,
yeah, I know that. Absolutely.
I mean, it's my point is that if there were things that just I'm like, there's no way that could have happened, then I wouldn't give it serious consideration. But
sure,
you have and relating to the Moscow scenario, you had what was unique about that house. Well, those girls were most of the people in that house were active on social media. So is it a massive stretch that we don't know what Steve G did? Nobody knows what his, IT could be a million different things. You have someone reaches out or someone's family is connected to intelligence or law enforcement. Here's some kids that are high profile. They're on social media. They're good looking. They're college kids, etc. And that's how you get chosen for an operation or an exercise. And I'm just saying that I'm not saying this is what I think the most likely scenario was. I'm just saying you can't just ignore the possibilities with all the inconsistencies and just and automatically dismiss it, especially with all the redactions and all this other stuff. I mean, redactions to me, a little bit can be explained away, like I always say, but a ton of it and shitty audio that sounds like it was messed with. There could have been shit going on that they didn't want people to hear. And so that would have exposed national security related things.
Right. That question you just threw up on Squeen. Squeen. That question.
On the Squeen?
Not that one. The other one before it.
Before the Squeen?
Yeah, that Squeen one. Listen to the interview on Christie's Chaos yesterday. Okay, so Kim was on my channel like all the time. and I had phone calls with her a lot. Okay. She did bring up to me in a private phone call, as well as during one of my shows, that she had issues with Brent living with those younger kids that were college kids, she thought, and that he was way beyond that level because of his age and stuff like that. Now, there was a rumor that I think had been debunked that he worked for WSU as some kind of a tech guy, IT guy, or some shit. I think it was debunked though, and that he did some kind of security stuff or something with them. So I don't know if that we never could come to a conclusion on that. But to answer that question, Kim and I talked about that stuff a lot, and that same scenario. I mean, I'm not saying that what you're saying, JJ, is wrong. I'm just questioning what you're saying because it's interesting to me. And I told you guys I don't discount anything with these cases at all. So I don't want you to think that I was like questioning you. I'm just curious.
No, man. Hey, bring it on, man.
Scenario, like what happened? Because I've watched the emotional reactions from a lot of different people to these situations. So in this situation, my understanding is if that were to be what it was, so then we go directly to the WITSEC side of things. Then if that's what happened, and so the families would have no idea about any of this, or are they just portraying that they have no idea to any of this because that's part of the deal? I mean, that's what I don't understand with how that would work and how that goes down. But I know, like what you said with the mob, I've watched and read a lot of mob stories just because of my family in itself. And I was always curious about it. And people they disappear. Their families and them disappear and you never see them again. Nobody knows where they're at, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff happens. Yes. So if this was a training exercise, that's how this would unravel, you guys think? Or do you think it would be something completely different?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to the answer to that question. I wanted to answer this question. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think
that's a federal law, I think, Lee, right there.
This question, I mean, we don't know necessarily that there was an assault. I mean,
right.
There are people who, you know, I see what they're saying. They have a mandatory right. There's not going to be a mandatory right. So if a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, they have an argument and they're yelling back and forth, and the neighbor, you know, two doors down calls the police. Oh, these guys are fighting or whatever, and the police come, and all it was an argument. There is no primary aggressor. It's an argument.
Right, but unless they physically.
Right, but it still is mandatory to be documented. It's still.
That's what I was going to respond to with that. Right. Now, I've been on scene for these, and he's right about that. If police see or EMS sees somebody being assaulted, that person's arrested immediately, right then and there. Period. End of story. If somebody, like a woman, comes into the hallway of an apartment building, okay, and she's got a black eye and her face is swollen out, her teeth, she's bleeding. And the guy's in the apartment, okay? And the police look at the situation. The dude's hands are all red, black, and blue. He's arrested. That's how I've seen it happen. Now, like one said, if they get there and both the people have calmed down, there's nothing going on, it's a wash. They leave. That's how I've seen it go. Am I wrong with that one?
Yeah, no, you're right. But even more so than that,
it's still reported.
We don't even have to. So if we go on scene. And it could be male or female, but predominantly, most times it would be the female. But it could be the male, could be the victim too, of course. I've seen that plenty of times as well. Yes. We don't have to even see an injury. Okay, there are ways that someone can be hurt or get hurt, and maybe there is no bruising yet. Maybe there's no injury. So if police come on scene, and you know. Let's say the girlfriend says, oh, you know, my boyfriend slammed me in the chest with an iron, you know, or something, and whatever, hit me in the chest with this stick, and we don't see, there's no bruising, there's nothing, but the female says, like, I do feel pain. it's a mandatory arrest. It's mandatory arrest.
Well,
There is no option because
right, just like with the Gabby Petito situation. If you remember, Utah PD, they separated those two that night. Remember that? And they sent her off one place and him another place.
Right.
I've seen that happen here too. Obviously, that situation was the wrong way to go.
That was a mess. Yeah.
That was bad.
They did it. Yeah. I mean, that situation, I could tell you that situation that happened with Gabby Petito would be impossible to happen in New York City.
Right.
Because
absolutely,
what I would tell you if I was on scene, whether you might agree or don't agree, but based on family offense laws and what we have here, at least in New York City, being on scene with the Gabby Petito and that situation, they both would have been arrested, both of them.
Right.
And you know what would happen? It would have wound up going to probably family court, but you know what? Gabby probably would have lived. She would have.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with you on that.
She would have lived. So
absolutely, and Wazowski said Baltimore City as well. So yeah. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't mean to like jump sideways. I just curiosity. You know what I mean? So.
But that other question that was brought up after that one, the one about, again, hasn't been proven. It's again, another thread that we pull. There is rumor, a rumor, not about green aliens, but a rumor that Kopacka was involved heavily with the drugs.
Right.
And think about it. If he, supposedly him and some of his family, he's involved in all kinds of different houses I think he lived in many different places. Think about it logically. What would, if someone was some kind of, higher end drug dealer or whatnot, where would they go? I mean, a college is like a breeding pit for drugs. So yeah, he's 30 something years old. Doesn't necessarily mean that, he's some kind of, freak or he has an obsession with young girls. It may just be about the drugs in itself. That would be an opportune place to expand your business.
Yeah, I mean, and as I've said, if I can't find logic behind any ideas, like any one of the different stories or threads that we pull can be picked apart somewhat. That's just the reality of it. Like any single theory that we may have can be picked apart. I'm great at picking shit apart if I want to, but I tend to, I tend to lean towards that there's a cover up going on because there were people involved at the school and federal money was involved. And so there was a real need to steer away from certain things. And
there was a big buyout supposedly going on, right?
Yeah. Phoenix University.
Right. It was like millions and millions of dollars. It was
big money.
Huge.
It might have been like, I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty big.
It was
money.
some kind of big, and then it wound up, right? Did it wind up getting canceled or something?
They lost it. Yeah.
They lost it, but that definitely would be a reason to hide stuff.
Well, I was laughing too, because when you say I can pick apart anything, how about picking this apart? It's a guy who's just an incel from the college over and has no connection to the girls, no connection to the house. His cell phone might have pinged off the cell tower that services the residents at 1122 King Road residence. And it could have been his car, that suspect vehicle one, maybe like that. If you're going to bust my nuts because we're questioning with some little detail about the Kopacka shooting or whatever, going, well, you're clearly an idiot because this, how about the fucking official story? That story sucks balls. Like way worse than any of these other alternate theories we're discussing.
Even possible.
That's what people seem to forget is that the
but now it's not even possible anymore. We know suspect vehicle one is not BK's car.
Right. And the answer always is, when you say, look, the main story doesn't make sense, they go, well, he pled guilty though, so shut the fuck up. He pled guilty. So you guys still need to shut up. Like, you're right. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but he pled guilty, so it's the end of the story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to go through all that stuff with Grok mainstream narrative, Grok AI, to pick apart, like, this guy has, I dug into every aspect of it. This guy has no ties to any other violent crimes. I mean, I studied this stuff. I laid it all out.
Well, you talking about BK or Kopacka?
Yeah. Well, I'm
BK,
talking about Koberger. I'm like, they were not able to tie him to any other violent crimes.
No.
Murders.
I think the only thing they said, he may have been involved possibly in some burglaries here or there.
Right, but like
no violence, right? No.
Yeah, and I mean, I went through every aspect of it and picked it apart, and then I threw in there. I mean, the kid was going to school to get a PhD in criminology. He probably wanted to be a high level, law enforcement or intelligence or DHS or the feds, and so it's not congruent for somebody that's pursuing that to just go to across the country for school just to shortly thereafter commit a quadruple homicide. It's more, I basically laid the argument that he could have been there because he was in the either being recruited or he got called up to the big leagues for an operation of some kind. And with everything we've seen with the Charlie Kirk case, with Tyler Robinson, with Luigi Mangione, in my opinion, and other high profile cases, it's, to me, this case screams some kind of an operation. Now, whether that's only just a cover up because they wanted to shift the timeline because it would have implicated certain people that they did not want to be implicated, and it's really just that simple, and he's being framed, then
and it can be hybrid too. It could also be a hybrid of both.
Right. It can be many things.
I do believe operation was going on, and maybe just something went south somehow. I know people are like, well, how is that possible? If FBI and all these people were watching the house and this and that, how could something go wrong? But things do go wrong.
Right.
Time.
Absolutely. And Kopacka may not have been directly involved, but he could have been peripherally involved, and the feds don't want that to get out because that would be a stain on the military, and they've taken a lot of hits in the last bunch of years because of vets coming back with serious issues, and suicide rates have skyrocketed with vets coming back from combat, and that is a bad PR thing. But I mean, why all the redactions in the standoff? What are you trying to hide? It just it doesn't make any logical sense other than they're covering something up.
Yeah.
Well, they're definitely covering something up. That's never been a doubt, obviously, from the beginning. It's just, what is it that they are covering up,
I mean, I don't know if so. This comment here, and when the night comes falling, the officer states he's going to be expelled from WCU. I don't know if people here, if people in the chat, if some of you have actually read any of the papers or any of the stuff that Brian wrote. We covered, Robin and I, like a few months ago on a Sunday show. We covered one of the papers that he wrote, where he was basically talking about, it was like a 2 or 3 page paper where he was talking about how he wanted to interview different, like, people who have been incarcerated and what their mindset is, like, because his argument was that there's been so many studies about sexual crimes and different things to that nature, but he said that there has been a lack of study on people committing burglaries and other kind of crime. And we went through. We read that 3-page paper, and let me tell you that this guy, you know, just read. I mean, he has a bunch of paper, a bunch of stuff. You read that 3-page paper, and you can see why he was going for a PhD. I mean, it was written extremely well. So I don't know.
Basically, one of his papers, you guys, he basically wrote his own story as to what's going on right now. If you read into it,
yeah,
he read about wrote about that situation, the death penalty, the court system, all of it. The whole thing was basically what he's going through now, and he wrote it then. And it's like, what the hell? How? You know what I mean? It's what he was studying, and it's weird. And then he ends up in a situation
that he was reading. Real quick, somebody had asked if there was a picture of what Brent looked like near the time of his death. This was This is a picture from that video footage back in June, and there's another. I couldn't find it for you, but there's another picture of what looks like him standing outside the Pimlico Apartments the night that there was a car accident, and he looked the same then too.
It's definitely looked like him. Or 99%.
And somebody had said something about When the Night Comes Falling. We read the entire book. I did on my channel, Howard Bloom's When the Night Comes Falling, about the story about him being expelled from WSU. That's not entirely accurate. Even the book doesn't say that he was expelled from WSU. What the book said, he was being dismissed from his teaching assistant's position, which then by extension they said, well, if he loses that, he's going to lose a lot of money and he won't be able to afford to go to school. So it was essentially the end of his career at college. He was going to have to drop out because he relies on that funding. So somebody made a bunch of steps that said he essentially was being kicked out of school because he was being reprimanded and kicked out of the teaching assistants, and therefore, by extension, he wouldn't have been able to afford his schooling, and therefore, it was the same thing as kicking him out of school.
Right, and we can't stress enough that someone of the profile of what BK kind of represents, he is like the quintessential person that the government, the FBI, that these agencies would seek out. You know, I don't know how else to put that into people's minds. Is that what happened? We don't know 100%, but on the level that he's at, I don't think some people realize like what it is to go for a PhD. I don't. It's not. It's like the highest level that you can kind of get to.
And another thing too is if you look into, and especially in the last decade, who the intelligence agencies hire, it's not like special forces, because remember, there's analysts, there's different branches of like the CIA, for example, but the FBI too. And somebody that's really good with like forensic analysis and computers and cloud-based stuff is who they hire now. It's not the macho guy that you would think. If you look at all the different CIA guys that have been interviewed, the new school guys are not like the old school CIA guys. They're kind of like nerdy and really into gamers, and they're really into, tech and programming and hacking and all that stuff. And so I think it's a really high probability, in my opinion, that Koberger was working either for the feds or he was working in conjunction with them through funding on particular research studies, which is fairly common. And I mean, I wasn't even in a graduate program, and when I went for my undergrad, and my university, which was not a huge school, it was like a mid-sized school, maybe like 15,000 students, had the largest psychology grant in the entire country, and it was DARPA. And I didn't know about DARPA back then, other than hearing about them. And they were doing research at my university, and we know now for a fact that intelligence and law enforcement recruit from colleges.
Yeah.
I
you
see
see
this.
the-
I see this comment about the autism. So,
I got this other one pinned first.
Yeah, you want to bring that? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Robin addressed kind of like we've talked about. Yeah, did you want to answer that real quick, Dago? While I have that on the screen.
I've responded to situations like that a couple two or three different times. One time there was a guy that had banded himself into his home, had guns, turned into a standoff that lasted about 8 hours, and it ended well. They brought I can't remember. I think it was his daughter showed up she was like an hour away. She showed up, talked him out of it. He got put in the hospital, and everything turned out well. A couple of the other ones were never that bad. They was just flipping out. He wasn't on his medication and needed to go to the hospital, and he was very well, very, very cooperative. And then the other one was pretty much the same way. And that's how they both, of those, the ones that I've been interacted with. But the one with the standoff, the guy was flipping out, and there was a lot of paranoia involved, and he was by himself in the house. Another situation where he wasn't taking his medication, in my opinion, and it just unraveled. It happens. But again, I don't. To me, I never saw. I looked at the Kopacka situation, as everybody knows, in the beginning of the case, and I could never really link it. But the more we look into Kopacka now and see different things, I question it, guys. I still question it because we never got any true to life, real answers. And there's too many other. It's not so much Kopacka himself.
Yeah.
It's the things around him that didn't make sense. Like the roommates, or so-called alleged roommates. The way it went down, the interview with the roommate, with Jordan Baker, that interview is so weird to me. It just doesn't make sense. Things like that are what made me re-question it to some aspect. So,
the question about the autism.
Autism, yeah.
So just to address that quick. So I know some people probably like, oh, well, if he had some kind of autism or mental thing. First off, just because you have autism, there are many, that's a kind of very broad statement. I could tell you that people with autism, I have someone, I know Dago does too. I have a family member that has a variation of autism, and they can be very, very high functioning. Sometimes people with autism, in a certain field or whatnot, they can be, extremely, extremely smart. So you have to think again outside the box. You can't think, oh well, he had this mental thing. There's no way. How would BK? How would he go to the the FBI academy? How would he pass the stuff and whatever? If he's smart enough and he could be an asset, you think they give a rat's ass?
You know how many people probably already work? Yeah, people that already work for the CIA and the FBI and Homeland that have autism. There's probably tons of them.
You think they care about the academy or that nonsense? If he has some kind of special skill that they could use, they would find a way. That doesn't mean anything. So just because he has autism, that doesn't mean that.
As long as they function well and they don't have to babysit them, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Right. And another quick, Happy Hounds just posted something going back to that other statement. WSU Kim she did tell me she contacted WSU and asked a question. She, because she had a child that went to school there. They said that they were not letting him go, but that was after he was arrested, then he was let go, which was an automatic situation from my understanding. So just to answer that, and back, what Happy was saying, that is true.
And just to touch on why I have felt that the feds were involved in some way, shape, or form in an operation is, why wouldn't the FBI, the public, everybody's seeing all the inconsistencies in this case all along, and the feds were involved. So why would they allow such a horseshit narrative to be pushed out to the public that does not coincide with any of the details? Wouldn't they not want to be associated with a case that looks like a clown show? So that is one of the things that, to me, bolsters my belief that they were involved. There was some kind of an operation because, you know,
I to add to what you're saying, and again, this is why I questioned that, JJ, earlier. With as big of a mess as this has turned into, okay, in my opinion, this is just an opinion. If this was a WITSEC thing, do you guys think they would have allowed this to turn into what it is right now? I think they'd have shut it down, and all of us and everything, if this really truly was like a WITSEC situation, because there's too many people that are looking into it. There's too much like exposure. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I
wasn't implying it with SEC though. With that, I was saying,
no, I know. No, not you, but if it were that, I've seen a couple people mention it. So,
but I mean, like, the one of the things that I look at is that the government has long been very intimately connected with the mainstream media. And oftentimes when there's fuckery going on in the world, the government wants the public distracted. And they want them online. They want them on message boards debating. They want them watching mainstream media to kind of placate them and keep them, distracted, basically. And I think whenever I see the mainstream media in dead lockstep on a case, is an immediate red flag to me. Like immediately on dead lockstep on a case with the mainstream narrative. And so the WITSEC thing, or an operation that was like an extraction of any kind, that's not my strongest feeling. I keep myself open to it because of the level of skullduggery that seems to have taken place around this case.
Yeah.
And again, the feds, like, why the feds have been in the hot seat for a while now. The FBI has been in the hot seat for a while. So I don't know that they would want to go along with a shoddy run case like this unless they had some involvement in it on some level where they were supporting all the horse shit that was being fed and the inconsistencies.
Well, and I think part of it, Jay, that's a good point, JJ. Like Lucy said, this has always been a federal head game. I agree with that. It always has from day one. Here's the other side to that too, though. Like, or not really the other side, but another point to that is like they told, okay, for the DNA thing, you guys know this. When they did the DNA work on this, they told MPD and them, don't use this, don't use this, don't use this. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do for you, but we'll deny it. Absolute deniability. We're not gonna. You didn't do this anyway, and they used it anyway. So in turn, then they get brought back out into the spotlight. Okay, which I'm sure they're still bouncing around behind the scenes, like avoiding things. I'm sure. Which is hence where we're at. But so there's that too, to understand that, the feds did their thing in this. We know what they did. We know what they shouldn't have done, but they did it anyway with the DNA, with the the cast info and all that kind of shit. They did a whole bunch of fuckery, like you guys said. But now it's out there and it doesn't seem like they're doing anything. I mean, they're still pulling the whole deniability thing no matter what, but it doesn't seem like they're doing anything more to cut anything more to cover it up than they have done. You know what I'm saying? Like shutting anything down. I would have imagined. I've been thinking about that today a lot. Even though I have my other thoughts, I can't understand how they're not shutting this down and shutting us down and having people not talk about this if it's that like in depth. You know what I'm saying? That's what bothers me about it. Like, why aren't they doing that?
Well, I mean, the feds love. I always say, they really love when people are debating each other and online and fighting with each other on these hotly debated cases. And true crime is massive. I mean, every big documentary, they interview true crime people. It's a big thing, and it makes people money. It makes people money, man. You're getting, YouTube loves it. The platforms love it. The Reddit loves it.
I wish we were making money.
Yeah. But I mean, they're surely making money, right? And so, you know, I just think like that's why I always say, man, this case is the craziest fucking case I've ever seen, because in my opinion, there's like 3 different theories that are highly, highly plausible.
Yeah.
That are not the mainstream narrative. And I mean, come on, guys, a speck of DNA on a knife sheath with the number of stab wounds these people allegedly had. Come on, man. I mean, we're getting into.
And it's not even recovered on body camera.
I mean,
No.
now
They couldn't even do that.
We're getting into like goo goo gaga shit now. It's like they don't show the knife sheath being found. There's a speck of DNA on a snap button that's it's this guy. Oh, it just happens to be a guy who's a PhD candidate in criminology just up the road. You know, it just doesn't. So, man, I don't know, dude. I'm getting to the point where I just am like, fuck this, man. This is just.
So we give up. We give up on the case. Just fuck it.
I mean, DA, when you were talking today, I was listening while I was at work. Your video early today, and I'm like, you're looking at that scene with Kopaka, and you saw all that redacted shit. Any one of us, anybody in the chat could look at that and go, more fuckery. Like,
right.
It's never ends. It's just more fuckery. Everything is fuckery. And it just, it's how do you not think the worst case scenarios about the people that are pulling the strings in this world when we just get nothing but an endless stream of fuckery?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, and I keep repeating it from time to time, but something you said stuck with me as one of the biggest keys in this whole thing, which is that if you had taken any one of these things by themselves, you could have explained it away and said, well, okay. But the number of fucking things you have to explain away in this case is insane. So that's when it becomes not believable anymore. Right. Because if it was just a one-off, you could say, oh, well, yeah, shit happens. If it was one thing, you could be like, shit happens. Sometimes shit just happens.
Right.
But
and what most people will
Thursday and Friday, and shit happened on this day, and this case shit happened, and then some other shit happened, and come on.
And then if you'll have people that give you the Occam's razor, he pled guilty. Well,
that's it. It's done. Pled guilty.
Occam's razor, in my opinion, would not be a representative logical approach to this, because if it was Occam's razor, there wouldn't be an endless stream of inconsistencies from day one. That's not Occam's razor. So all the people on Reddit that love to say Occam's razor, if there was Occam's razor, there would be a very simple, there wouldn't be a need for all this inconsistency.
This is the opposite of Occam's razor, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, look at what, you know, every time they have something new that comes down, we have another 50 questions to ask. I mean, look at
every time.
How simple is it of getting a DoorDash receipt? You look at a DoorDash receipt, and now what? Now we see DoorDash is ordered at 2:15 and gets ordered, you know, and arrives at 3:59. Who the hell orders DoorDash and waits an hour and 45 minutes for food?
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about it earlier on Dago's channel. You order DoorDash, you know, okay, it's not going to take 10 minutes, but all these apps, I know DoorDash has it. There's a little map. There's a map that on the thing. You open it up.
An estimated time.
Estimated time, but not only estimated time, it'll show you real time where the driver is. You can see where they are.
There's a map,
You're going to tell me that someone is going to wait an hour and 45 minutes until they send a message? Oh,
that's actually the secondary. Yeah, that was the second time. The first time, she was way super late. They canceled the order and they had to remake the food the first time, and then that happened. So that's pretty wild.
I will concede right now that it could be that Kopaka had nothing whatsoever to do with this case, and if that was in fact a training exercise, It was not. It was that. It was a training exercise, and it was the public is not going to get that information, and that, you know, if that's the case, you know, I'm willing to concede that that may be completely separate from the Idaho 4 case. I'm willing to concede that. But again, it just, when there just seems to be so much being hidden from the public from every step of the way. We could, you know, no need to go through it all. We all know what it is. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, I just think that we've gotten to a point in history that the powers that be believe that the citizens don't matter. We're just pawns, you know, we're just things to be moved around on a chessboard for the benefit of people that are powerful and wealthy and elites and so on. And it's just, I really have seen it escalate in the last 5 years in America and around the world, really. And it's just, you know, the way my mind works, I believe that a lot of these things are connected. I really do.
Yeah.
I just
definitely. I mean, shit doesn't make sense.
Anybody who if wanted to look at my X account and go back 3 years, 4 years, and search different things, I predicted so many things of the path that we were going to go down. And people, I've had friends, you know, my buddy who went to military school, and he was around a lot of Navy SEALs and guys that became CIA contractors. He wouldn't hear from him for months, and then he'd hit me up with a text like, "Dude, you predicted that. How did you predict that?" And I'm like, it's not that hard if you know what the end goals are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Well, all night long we have talked about one case, and there's no real time. There's no real time to do another case. So I think I will just stay with this last case. Is there any parting thoughts that you guys want to share on the that we haven't covered? I mean, do we want to go back and address the question about, I mean, did we resolve tonight that we feel comfortable that that picture is consistent with looking out the window at the slope behind the house, and it can be the one, or do we still feel like it still doesn't quite make sense? I mean, I mean, you did great, Dago, showing at least where it very much could be the trees and the staircase that you see back there. The angle doesn't seem right, but is that just a trick of the camera, or
that's what I was saying? I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But you're rubbing off on me with the whole devil's advocate thing. And I just had to say maybe, you know, but Robin had a better point saying at that angle, you should be kind of looking down on more. It's just weird because it still doesn't make sense. When you look at the one window, you see a blacktop with yellow line parking lot. The other side of it, you see grass. It's what the hell's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And just from physics, just basic perspective, if you were further away from that little hillside with the stairs, if you were further away, yes, I could see it looking like you were lower because it's a little further away, but you would see the parking lot below the window. But we saw the other picture, how close it is to that hillside.
Doesn't seem like the angle is correct.
Right.
So Dago, somebody said they sent you the picture of the water tower, and then while you're looking at that, if you have it, I wonder if this person's saying I should go to Moscow, because that would be funny, but it would also, I just don't know if they already know that, because they did put a little smiley face. So Joe and I went to Moscow. Rhonda and I went to Moscow. We put boots on the ground, nighttime, daytime drive footage. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We got footage of it. As Joe would say, he's still pissed off. I still haven't shown all the footage of that night, which is it's been fucking months now. It's been months, and I still haven't shown some of the best moments of that footage. But yeah, we went. We put boots on the ground. You got it to show us, Dago?
And we went to those.
It's already backstage, bud.
And we went to those
Maybe-
apartments too, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. There's a
So-
grain silo or water tower out there.
Hang on, I'm trying to get my mouse to start working.
Yeah, we
again.
went to the coffee house apartments, Joe and I. That's what he was saying. You're right.
So Steptoe is to the right of this photograph. That's a hell of a distance for somebody to call out and say.
Did the cops see that that tower get hit from the Steptoe apartments?
I mean, that's what she sent me. So if that's the case, then
That's a nice
how?
distance.
How did you see that
They're a
get hit
better
from-
man than me.
They got some good eyes.
You know what it's-
seriously.
It felt honestly. I mean, I don't want to be a dick, but it felt like the whole. I saw him shoot a tree branch. I saw him shoot a tower. Hey, he's shooting towards campus. It felt like somebody giving an excuse for them to take the shot.
That's what it sounds like.
They needed to have a pretext. So three things happened in a very. 4 things happened in a very short period of time. 8 hours go by, and in a very short period of time, a bullet hit one of our cars. He hit a tower. He's shooting through a tree towards campus, and he just said he's going to start killing people, and then they shot him. So
yeah, but isn't that
happen, but,
isn't that Pimlico there on the left, and to the right is Steptoe? Because that's where this is taken.
And that's SEL right there, straight ahead.
Yeah, that's SEL.
Yeah,
Lee, I
Steptoe
wanted
to the
to,
right of this, and then that's Pimlico right there.
Do you know how far? That's not even remotely close to the coffee house.
No.
If that's the north side of town, not only is that, so that's not possible. So here's why I'll just tell you right now why that's not possible. What you're not seeing is elevation change. So first of all, Steptoe is down low, and you slope up quite a bit towards campus, and then it slopes down from there over. And so there's no way you're seeing those water towers from the Steptoe apartments.
That's my thought. Like I said, how? You know what I mean?
I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible.
No.
I don't either. And I believed you. Like earlier when you said it sounds like she's just kind of like picking things out just to say, or whatever.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like to me. It truly does. Like she just.
Lee, I had a question for you, Lee, because I know I jumped in earlier, so I missed some of it. I didn't see all of the video. Did they show? Were there any pictures or anything? Did they? So I know they talked about the water tower. Did they? Where she said, "Oh, they hit one of the cars. They hit this." Did they show any pictures or anything of
I haven't seen anything
being hit.
No, I haven't seen anything. Now, granted, there's like 4 body camera footage or 5 body camera footage from each hour of that shooting. So I haven't watched all the camera footage. So that's another reason why I'm kind of trying to make these files available for everybody to snoop through and say, and I've been trying to tell people, look, here's what I'm looking for. If you find this, please tell me the file and the time frame. So I want to hear very clearly Brent Kopaka saying he's going to start killing people. I don't know that that's ever said. In fact, what I'll say this, I don't believe he said it. Until you guys can show me a video that said he said it, I don't think he said it. I think an officer said he said it, but I don't think he said it. So until you can show me a video that he said it's all hearsay. I don't know that he hit a tree. I don't know that he hit a water tower. I don't know that half those things. So I'm looking for those. Show me that he actually said he was going to start killing people. I would like to see that.
I'm with you on that one.
And maybe he will. To be fair, if you show it, I will be the first to go, well, fuck, there it is. You can hear him. I'll let you know. I'm not going to hide it. I don't have a dog to fight, whatever you want to say, a bone in this fight, a dog in the fight, whatever the fuck, I don't have, I'll tell you. If I hear it, I hear it. I'll tell you. I have no problem. All right. So I think we're going to wrap up here, guys. Let's go around the horn, say some good nights. It's long. It's been a long night. It's a good night. It was the best of times and the worst of times and all those fancy things. Let's go. Robin 1-1 Dago JJ on the way out. So Robin, what do you got to say for tonight?
Well, once again, thanks for coming out, everyone. I'll be the housekeeping person. If you haven't yet, please like the video, share the video. Become a part of the family, become a member, $2.99 a month. You can watch Lee go through stuff live during the day and all kinds of stuff. And, hopefully, just join the family. Thanks to the Blue Crew for popping on over. I saw several of you guys over here, and the meatballs are always wonderful to have you guys here. Thanks to all the denizens. We couldn't do this without you guys. I always say that, but I want to make sure to always say it because we 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 just couldn't. We're here because you guys are helping us in this fight for truth, and it's great to be here with you gentlemen as always. So, and I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you so much. And what do you have to say for close?
Great content. These videos, going through the Kopaka stuff has been excellent. Hope you guys get either, some of us have to work, I guess, during the day, but you could check some of it out on replays and whatnot. Thanks to the panel, Dago, obviously, great having you and your crew. Great discussion earlier. I love hanging out with you guys over there. Keep fighting for the truth and keep asking questions. Unfortunately, more stuff comes out. We have another 50 questions. Thanks to everyone who came out yesterday. Great show. Great thread on Kurt Cobain. We will be continuing to cover that in the future on the next few weeks coming up on Sundays. Don't worry, we will be doing more of a deep dive into the actual crime scene and some other stuff. Just the first show was kind of a little bit out of what, just kind of trying to get people to think outside the box. Following along kind of what JJ likes to do. So just continue to think, continue to ask your questions, and don't be afraid to, if you don't want to come up on stage or anything like that, you can email Lee, you can email us. We definitely there's no theory or anything that we're not afraid to look at. Just try to have we don't like to just come on here and just make accusations and blame people for stuff. So try to make sure you have receipts for stuff. But if you have the receipts, I'll tell you, Lee definitely will take a good look at it, and if it's something that has substance to it, he will bring it up. So of course, thanks to Lee for having us. We love being here. Great show. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well. And you got lots of people that are asking questions of you. So you got your own little happy fan club going in the chat room as usual. Dago, how are you? And what's your closing thoughts for the night?
I want to thank you guys all for having me again and our community. I want to thank Amanda B and Essie. Great job as always, ladies. And thank you all here at Devil's Advocates for having myself and the community here, along with my Blue Crew. They're absolutely amazing. They know how much they mean and how important they are. I want to thank the whole TruCrime Cafe for joining us tonight as well. And guys, I'm really, really enjoying doing these shows at night with all of you guys coming together like this. It's absolutely amazing. Of course, Robin, 1-1, Lee, and JJ. It's always a great show and a great conversation. And I'm looking forward to more and more of them. Everybody from the cafe and everybody in general. I always say this to everybody, guys, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. Make some time for yourself and know your own worth, folks. It's so very important. Don't change the thing. You guys are the beautiful people, and we will see you guys very soon.
Yeah. And I hope Dago, that my wife and I get to meet your wife and you when we come out to Indiana and Kentucky area.
Yes.
So we're crossing our fingers that we can pull that off. I know there's other people who have been reaching out to me saying that when we're going to be in the area, they want to meet with us. So it's cool as the channel is growing. Now, when we go put boots on the ground, people are talking about coming to see us. As long as you don't bring a firearm and shoot at me, we'll be good. So, I mean, you can bring a firearm, just don't shoot at me.
I was going to say, I'm not going to shoot at you. And, but the other thing, I can't promise you that. But
fair. I don't mind the extra protection around us as long as it's not.
I'm looking. Yeah, definitely.
What do you got, JJ, for closing?
Yeah, once again, thank you for having me, everybody. thank you to the Den and the Meatballs and all the mods. I really appreciate it. And of course, to all you fine panelists here and DA, and for tolerating my flights of fancy. We'll get those videos out one day of DA and I on a rampage in Idaho. The people in the members only live were cracking me up, man. Like, some of that stuff was just the funniest shit I've ever done. But not just funny, you know, there was some good
there was
nuggets.
good moments.
Yeah, there was some good nuggets in there. And man, I got to tell you, you know, this case has stretched my brain in ways I can't even tell you guys. And so I'm happy to go through it with y'all. It's been a really interesting thing. Yeah, Amanda loves busting my nuts.
Read the chat, Joe.
Read the damn chat.
You guys, if you ever get to see those videos, you'll understand. It was pretty nutty. I hope you guys get to see them eventually.
In a way, I wish to help support the channel, we could sell some merchandise, because we have so many cool inside jokes in this channel. You know, this ain't coffee, bitch. We got all, you got the, you know, read the damn chat. You know, it's not the size of your pole, it's how you use it. We have inside jokes for days on this channel. We need some merch that just kind of has jokes for the people, but we're not quite big enough where enough people would get the joke, but it's funny shit. Like,
and also DA's been so busy with so many other things that, like, a lot of the video that we shot, there was a lot of it. And so
Cockswagger, right? Yeah.
I mean, people were just talking about SEL. We went to SEL, we filmed around it. Yep. The Den was digging up information about them, and that it was pretty crazy. But anyway, as always, guys, it's been my pleasure. I'll be back tomorrow at the normal time. I'll be here on time. And
and I appreciate it, and I love that. I love having everybody on the show. This panel has been amazing. It gets better and more solidified. We're getting into our groove. And I've got raw footage from New York trip all over the place too, with Rex Heuermann and Luigi Mangione walking down the locations of the shootings and the houses and stuff like that. We got so much footage that's just sitting in the can. You know what? Someday we're going to do a documentary. We're going to use all that stuff in a nice documentary.
There you go.
That's what we could probably do. We got some great footage in the can for that. So anyways, I guess I will sign off tonight, and I won't put her on stage. I'm going to put me on stage. How about that, Rob?
Going through everybody again.
Come on stage. I'm just gonna sit here and piss around with this fucking thing the whole day. Anyways, that's it for our show, Crimes After Dark. Thank you. Robin will I forget that I've got like 3 mods that can take over. Forget about it. I'm just going to go ahead and close. Thanks for coming tonight. Have a great one. We'll see you again tomorrow night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.
Take care.